Hello year one, welcome to our Thursday lesson about time. Finally, we're moving on to some work about clocks. So today we're going to begin to show an understanding of an analog clock. So I've got two clocks here. Which one is the analog clock? Can you point at it? Okay, well done. This one here with the hands and the numbers all around the edge, the circular one, is our analog clock. What's this one called? Does anybody know? It shows us a different type of time. It's called digital time. So this is our digital clock. Okay, so we've got our clock here and we have our question. So let's look at our question boxes. First question is, how many numbers are there on our analog clock? You can count them all around the edge, or you could just look for the biggest number. Which number is it? Okay, can you shout it out? Can you whisper it? Can you draw it? Well done, we practiced that, didn't we, the other day? There are 12 numbers on an analog clock. Next question. How many hands are there? Now, it's not these hands, not these types of hands. These things here are called hands. So those lines, they move round. They're called hands of a clock. How many can you count? Well done, there are 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Oh, okay. So our 3, I forgot what my next question was then, sorry. Okay, so we've got 3 hands. One is our hour hand, one is our minute hand, so it records the minutes, or measures the minutes, should I say, and the thin one, we don't always see on clocks. It's sometimes in a different colour, it's sometimes red. That is our seconds hand, so that measures seconds. So how many hours are there in a day altogether? We've got 12 hours on that clock, but how many hours are in a day? Well done. There are 24 hours in a day. So what we have is each of these hours in the morning and each of them in the afternoon or the evening. So there is a 1 o'clock in the morning when you're fast asleep at home, and there is also a 1 o'clock in the afternoon just after we've had our lunch and we come in from play at school. So there's also maybe an 8 o'clock, maybe when you are in bed or going to bed in the evening, but there is also an 8 o'clock in the morning, hopefully when you're eating your breakfast or you're up getting ready for school or whatever you're doing at home at the moment. So those hours are counted twice on an analog clock in a day because there are 24 altogether. How many minutes are there in an hour? So how many times do you think that longer minute hand has to go around our clock to make 1 hour? I'm going to give you a clue. Each of these numbers move in counts of 5s. Now we're moving on to this after half term, counting in 5s, but if you know how to count in 5s already, you can help by counting with me. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. There are 66 minutes in an hour. Okay, so our reasoning now, we need to answer these questions. I need to meet my friends in the park at 3 o'clock. How will I know if this is 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon? What do you think it's going to be? In the morning or afternoon? 3 o'clock. Well done. It might be 3 o'clock in the afternoon after school or at the weekends. Would it be 3 o'clock in the morning? That's hopefully when you're all asleep. 3 o'clock in the morning is in the middle of the night when it's pitch black outside. I wouldn't fancy going to the park when it's pitch black outside, would you? Some of you would. Okay, next question. My alarm is set at 6 o'clock, so it's set to wake us up at 6 o'clock. Does it matter if I set it in the morning or the afternoon? So if I wanted to wake up at 6 o'clock, would it matter if I had to set it for the morning or for the afternoon? What do you think? It would matter, wouldn't it? We wouldn't want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the evening. We'll probably be eating our dinner or our pudding or watching some TV then. I wouldn't want my alarm to wake me up then. I want it to wake me up in the morning so I had enough time to get ready to start my day. So it does matter. Ooh. There we go. Right. Problem solving. Last one. Last activity. So this is our hour hand. This is the start of what we're going to move on to next week. Let's see who already knows a little bit about telling the time. So we've got our hour clock. The hour hand is pointing to the 2. The minute hand is pointing to the 12. That means it is o'clock. What does that time show? Put what I've just told you, put those things together. So it's showing the hour of 2 and the 12 shows it's o'clock. So put those together. It is 2 o'clock. Well done. So our first question is, what will the time be in 2 hours time? So 2 hours later. So count, if it's 2 o'clock already, if it moves twice, 1, 2, what will the time be? Let's count. 1, 2. It will be 4 elephants, 4 chocolate bars. It'll be 4 o'clock. Well done. The next question asks us, what time would it have been 1 hour before? So this time we're going to count back 1 hour from 2, counting backwards. What would the time be? Well done. It would be 1 o'clock. Excellent. Oh, okay. Got an empty screen there because I've got the sheet in front of me. Today, for our activity, you are all going to do the same job to get ready for our learning. So we are super ready for Monday. This gives you today, it gives you the whole weekend, gives you Friday's lesson as well if you have some time on Friday and you're not too busy. 2, I would first of all cut out the numbers of our clock. Oh, let me go back. Starting with which number at the top? Well done. So we always put 12. Our biggest number starts at the top of the clock. And then we move round to cut and add each of those numbers. There are instructions on here if you're not too sure. You need to very, very carefully cut out our minute hand and our hour hand. You can cut out the whole thing. You could then use a split pin to put through, or ask mummies and daddies to put a split pin through those hands and attach it to the clock. Or you could use a hairpin or a hair grip would do the same job. Or you could attach it to some cardboard and put a drawing pin or something like that very safely with some blue tack on the other side to keep it in place there. So you're going to need these for Monday's lesson. So it's super duper important that you get these completed, okay? If you're finding it really tricky to do it or you can't cut them out, don't worry. On Monday, if you have a look on Google, I will remind you, you'll be able to find yourself a clock that you can use on your iPads or whatever you have at home, computers, to use it. Okay, have a go at making these. You don't need to send us pictures of them. I want to see pictures next week of you using them. Okay, tomorrow's Friday. It is our number learning. I look forward to seeing you then. See you tomorrow.